In this video, I will try to find guilties in the obesity epidemic, diabetes epidemic, and the addiction to junk food. Is there a primary culprit? Is this a person? We will try to find out next. So do not forget to ring the bell and subscribe, Foodie Eyes. We are starting right now. On the previous episodes of this series, we saw how the Nixon administration and its Secretary of Agriculture, Earl Butz, created a new pattern of consumption by reducing the production costs of consumer goods and widespread use of corn and high fructose corn syrup. Around the same time, another fascinating political process took place. It turns out that this is all a political battle between two schools of nutrition. It happened just then, in the early 1970s. Western countries have faced an epidemic of heart diseases, and scientists wondered what caused it. In particular, this scientific inquiry has been reduced to two possible factors: sugar and saturated fat. The scientific camp, who claimed that fat was the root of all evil, led by an American epidemiologist named Ancel.
The facts are simple. You know the chief killer of Americans is cardiovascular disease, disorders and degeneration of the heart and blood vessels.
Mr. Keyes was close to the American administration and held official positions. His theory that fat causes disease is based on research that became canonical in the world of nutrition, the study of 7 countries. His observations showed a causal link between consumption of saturated fat and the increase in heart disease. In contrast, the British endocrinologist John Yudkin claimed that Keyes was completely wrong and that sugar was the cause of heart diseases, as well as diabetes, certain types of cancer, and problems related to blood pressure and blood vessels. John Yudkin published these claims in a book and almost immediately received scorns of contempt from Keyes and more or less from any nutritionist who was exist. According to an article in The Guardian, Keyes used his political power in order to attract more and more nutritionists who questioned scientific methodology in Yudkin's work, despite their own work suffered from much more severe methodological problems. Keyes just could not afford all the work he has done to prove that fat is the cause of heart diseases will go down the drain, and he devoted himself to the task. In the end, Keyes' efforts paid off, and Yudkin's name was stained, and his theory of sugar lost this political struggle. And so at once, the American administration adopted Keyes' approach and recommended a low-fat menu to the Americans.
The committee's original report urged Americans to reduce their risk of heart attacks by reducing their intake of cholesterol down to the equivalent of about 1 egg a day.
This recommendation completely changed the American food industry and later also the global food industry. For the moment the industry began to take the fat out of the food, she realized she had to do something for the taste of the food that turned to not tasty without the fat. Then people will not want to consume it. So here's come again, our friend.
And high fructose corn syrup has a longer shelf life.
HFCS.
High fructose corn syrup.
Was high fructose corn syrup in it?
And corn syrup are both bad.
Experience of recent years teaches that any attempt to declare war on sugar, each time blocked by the American sugar industry and the massive lobby it brings to Washington. And that is the reason I remind you again to subscribe this channel. I want to welcome all the new subscribers, and I am sure you will continue to enjoy Foodie Eyes videos. So thanks for watching, see you on the next.